This is passage 5. It's a data passage in test 61C. So our DRC approach means data research conflicts, and when we're dealing with data, we don't really have to read. So don't read. D, data, D, don't read. You might want to skim. For some people, you might read. That's strategies we talked about in other places, but you need less reading for data passages. So we can see passage 5 is a data passage because we're not comparing experiments or scientists. So we skim it, table 1. Looks like we're comparing density, and it gives you the formula. Density equals mass times volume. So we might need that formula. Know where it is just in case you need it. And then we're comparing substances, phases, and density. And then how density and temperature change, and then density and temperature again, how the density of solid water changes, how the density of liquid water. So we have liquid water, solid water. Probably don't need to spend that much time. Usually you can go straight to the questions. I like to orient myself, but you can go to the questions without spending much time. Remember our R&R approach to the questions. You're going to read the question to orient yourself to what it's asking. Sometimes you might even want to put it into your own words to say, here's what I'm trying to find, and then reread it, and you're breaking it down step by step as you go. According to figure 1, so put your finger on figure 1, as the temperature of liquid decreases from 10 to 0. So decreases from 10 to 0, so it goes down. The density does what? So it is going to go up, so it increases, and then back down, decreases, so increase, then decrease. The answer is D. A student claimed that if the mass of 1 cubic centimeter of any solid and 1 cubic centimeter of any liquid are compared, the mass of the solid will be greater. Do the data in table 1. So put your finger on table 1, find it. Support this claim. So the student says that solids will always be greater than liquids. So can we prove that correct or wrong? If we see mercury is 13.59, and that's bigger than any of the densities of the solids. So is solid always greater than liquid? No. Why? Because mercury has a higher density. So your answer is G. On these questions, you can always process of eliminate. F and H are both wrong as the data doesn't support it. It says lead has a higher density than any of the liquids. That's not true. Mercury is higher than lead. And mercury has a higher density than any of the solids. Well, that's true, but that goes against the claim. Contradicts the statement. So using the answers can help you if you get confused a lot of times. Which of the following hypotheses about the relationships between temperature and density of the solid is supported by the data in figure 2? So finger on figure 2. As the temperature of the solid increases, so increases, goes from -8 to 0, the density does what? The density decreases only, so B. Equal amounts of ethyl ether, mercury, and water are poured into a single beaker, 3 distinct layers formed based on the data in table 1, so finger on table 1. Which of the following diagrams best represents the order from top to bottom of the liquids? So we're looking at ethyl ether, we're looking at mercury and water, which is not in the table, but they give that to us. There's a little bit of knowledge you need for this one. The more dense items sink to the bottom. So which one is the most dense? Mercury. So it could be choice F or J. Which one is the least dense? Ethyl ether or water? So the least dense is ethyl ether. So choice F is correct. This is a little bit of a tricky question, so let's break it down. According to figure 1, so put your finger on figure 1. 100 grams of water at 4 degrees Celsius would exactly fill a container having which the following volumes. I don't see volume anywhere in figure 1, so where is volume? Well, if we look at the passage, we see density is defined as mass divided by volume. So now we can find the answer using the formula. So 4 degrees Celsius has a density of 1. So we fill that in. Density 1 equals mass divided by volume. What's the mass? 100 grams divided by volume. So solve for volume. Volume equals 100 divided by 1. Volume equals 100. So C. That one takes a little bit of time to work through. It's doable, but it does take some time to work through. Just break down the question. It tells you where to go. Answer is C. So a quick review of our answers. 25 is D, 26 is G, 27 is B, 28 is F, and 29 is C.